What's up guys, hope you're doing well. It's a bit grim innit? Don't like winter, not at all. Anyways, I did mention yesterday that I would do a Q&A. I got loads of questions, let's get into it. First off guys, I got loads of questions about money. I'm not going to talk about money, how much bricklayers earn. I know how much I earn, I'm not going to share that with you, but it varies, you know what I mean? It varies on the economy, it varies on where you live, and yeah, how good you are and what you bring to the table. So there's all them variables, so it's too broad of a topic to talk about. But basically, skill up and you can charge more. Moonman Guitar asks, have you ever backed out of a job that was out of your depth? The answer is no, Moon. I've never backed out of a job. Once I've been committed to the job, I've always followed it through right to the end. I've never bailed on anything in my life, and that's my good mantra for life. Yeah, there has been big jobs which I've not attempted. You know, if a job's too big, I'll just say no, I can't take that on, I'm sorry. But I've never backed out of a job. Josh Ritchie says, would you ever take on an apprentice? I wouldn't, Josh, only for the sake of like I can't provide everyday work for him, so it's not I may in time, but right now it's just the odd jobs here, odd jobs there. It's nothing solid, so I can't take on an apprentice on that basis. Joe Pessel says, do you think apprenticeships pay enough money at £3.30 per hour? Basically, Joe, it's something apprentices have to go through. You know what I mean? You're not that knowledgeable, you're not experienced in the game, and it's just an unfortunate process of being a learner in something. Of, you know, it can be anything, any trade, any job. When you start off, you don't know a lot about it and you're very inexperienced. When I started my apprenticeship, I think I was on about £161 a week, which is absolutely pathetic, right? And I was providing top quality value, I was doing everything. But that's just the way it is. I was learning, I was young, and I was inexperienced. It's basically just what apprentices have to go through, unfortunately. But you can skill up, and my advice is just skill up and do more than you get paid for, and then the companies you work for, the people you work for, they might just think, hey, he's doing a great job, this lad, and we'll give him a bit more than he's getting paid for. Zivzy asks, Marshalltown trowel or Ox trowel? Well, to be fair, they're both great trowels, actually. Guys, I'm really made up with mine there, Ox, but Marshalltown's a cracking trowel as well, you know, it's very solid. But I'm using Ox now and I'm made up with that, no qualms with it whatsoever. I'm really enjoying it, it's a good trowel. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I'm happy with my Ox. And Marshalltown is still a great brand. Another question from Joe Pessel, and he says, plans for the Type R? Well, not that many actually, George. Just think I'm gonna keep it as standard as possible. I may even possibly just get it remapped in the future, but as it is now, I just love it as it is. I'm just gonna enjoy it while it lasts now, and maybe I'll just keep it for a year because I'm thinking of moving on to bigger and better cars in the future, so we'll just see what happens. And I would like to sell it standard as well, you know, so it would just be a case of popping the old air filter back on and then sell it on as it is, standard, because to be fair, it's going to be a collector's item in the future, that, and I think the price can only go up really if you keep them in good condition like that is that I bought. Gurpreet Singh asks, how do you know how much mortar to spread on a bed? Well, that just comes with experience, that, Gurpreet, but you know, experience with getting stuck in with the job, you know, it's the same as anything. The more you do it, the more understanding of how it goes and what works and what doesn't work. You can also watch my how to spread mortar video, and that'll show you everything you need to know about spreading mortar perfect. Dean Johnson asks, where do you see yourself in 5 years time? Well, Dean, I am a bit of a spiritual person. I like to stay in the moment, and the time is now. I just completely stay in this moment. I'm working as hard as I can right now, but I'm thinking the channel is just going to progress more and more, and it's going to gain more popularity because I've got some great content coming, and I'm made up with the progress so far, and hard work does pay off, and there's no other way around it, you know what I mean? You've got to work hard to get the results. There's no overnight success, and I'll just keep plugging hard with this channel, going for 50k next year. That's a proper target. You've got to set your targets high as well. There's no point having a weak target, innit? That's the problem most people have these days. They set too small a target. So we're going to push for 50k next year, and yeah, the channel's only going to grow. But at the moment, I'm really made up with the channel progress. Who knows where it'll take us, but in life you just got to take each moment as it comes, because the present moment is all we have. So you've got to treat it with full respect. Richie Maskwell, I can't say your name, Richard. Richie Maxwell asks, what's faster, a bolt to lightning or stucrompton? Well, Richie, you're gonna find out that in the 10k subscriber special. Let's just say that. Ben Guns asks, planning a meet and greet in the future? Of course, Ben, that's a great idea, mate. I do plan to do some type of workshop where we can all get together in a warehouse or something, or I can rent some place out for the day and then we'll build some walls. Danielle Sajid asks, what's your opinion of the de-skilling of trades such as bricklayers, stonemasons, etc. over the years by the fast growth of industry through prefabs such as brick slip panels, modular construction, etc.? Would be great to see your take on this. Good stuff on your channel. Yeah, so it's interesting really. I mean, there's lots of prefab stuff knocking about on site now. The job's getting so easy really. We don't really have to do much in terms of like building the arches and stuff. They're all prefabbed. All we have to do is point them up. I did it on my last house build when I was on site. They had a big archway. It was a massive door archway, and all I had to do was point it up, and then it was lifted on by a crane, and then we just have to build it in. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't think robots will ever replace bricklayers. So if you're asking that, yeah, I don't think they'll ever replace bricklayers. Retro Please asks, would you ever take on an apprentice? Oh, I answered that one. So no, I wouldn't. And have you ever done any work in the Oldham area? Oldham, I'm sure I have. Or just past there. Yeah, I think I have, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, I've had a girlfriend from Oldham. Yeah, she was a lap dancer. Lasted 2 months. Danny Hill asks, would you ever go into teaching bricklaying at college? Well, actually, Danny, I've been asked a few times because I know a few teachers at college and mechanics and stuff like that, and they've asked me to come and teach bricklaying. But I would do it, but I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like a salary or limitations on what you can earn in life. So, you know, teaching jobs, you have to be there every day, and there's a cap on what you can earn. So, not my cup of tea, you know, and it's not much freedom in that job, you know. So, I like working for myself and creating my own success. You know what I mean? The success in life is down to me and not working for a college. Because no matter how hard you work in the college, you'll always just get a certain amount of wage every year, and that's it. There's a cap on what you can earn, and that's it. So, not for me. Adam96 asks, profiles or rack corners back? I don't mind building corners, Adam, but what do you reckon? I mean, profiles are the future, I think, aren't they? It's faster, and I've got a good tip coming soon on my website. So that is that you can set all your corners, you can set all your profiles on each corner and just run the whole string line around the around whatever you're building, and then run to that. So that's coming soon. But if I had to choose one, Adam, I think I'd say profiles. They're just easy. Mark your gauge and away you go. As long as you keep in check, plumbing your profiles every couple of course, then you can't go wrong really, can you? Tom Hunt says, what do you think of young lads as labourers these days? Lazy or hard working? Well, Tom, I remember when I used to labour, it's a bloody hard job, innit? You're virtually a slave, aren't you? I remember they used to treat me like really bad, the people I worked for. During my apprenticeship, I had a rough time. I'll tell you more about that in another video. But they treated me like crap, and it was really hard. And it was something I had to go through to kind of get in the door of the construction industry, you know. So it worked in the end, but it was hard work at first. And sure, it's, you know, you're coming home, you're tired. But mostly I think young lads, they don't really know what they want to do in life, and I was exactly the same. So your heart and soul is not in shoveling buckets of mortar, is it really? So you're gonna see young lads like not really putting the effort in, are they, into that. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? I wouldn't really say they're lazy. I would say like they're not the mindset of someone who you might perceive as lazy is, you know, this is not what they want to be doing with their life. They're just doing it to get by, to get money, so they can go out to the weekend and get smashed. RC Drones asks, how's my new car? Absolutely in love. Right, she's my new baby, my new girlfriend. I absolutely love her. I've not got a name yet, so if you can think of a name, try and pop one in the comments below. But yeah, she's everything I've ever expected her to be and more. Lasergun asks, what made you choose bricklaying as a career, and what's your favourite thing about bricklaying? Also, your channel is amazing. Keep up the fantastic work. Thank you very much, Laser Gun. I really appreciate it. I don't know what... Well, I'll tell you actually how I got into bricklaying is my sister had a boyfriend and his name was Stu, and he was a cracking bricker, really good bricker, and he needed help with a labourer. So I was out to work at the time, or I've been working with my dad. I fell out with him, so I was looking for work, and then I just took up the labouring job. Like I said, it was really hard work, and then I watched him bricklay and I thought, well, I can do this. So mounted labour for a couple of years mounted labour for a year until I could get an apprenticeship with them two lads that I started with. One of them was a really good bricker, Stu, and the other one was Tony. He was rough as a dog, left-hander, and he used to backheel him in a not curve. They were tilted, slanted, not bother one bit, no care about what he was doing. And Stu was really, really neat. You know, and I used to watch Stu all the time. So I learned a lot from him. But yeah, that's how I got into it, because I seen him when I was labouring in the first year. They were earning a fortune, absolute fortune. So I thought, yeah, this is a good job to be in, and I can do it. Dean Risotti asks, hi Stu, loving the channel and the best bricky website. Thanks, mate. Is there any way to remember the foundation depth and width when building a garden wall? Let's keep this bricky train going, best bricky train. When people ask about footings, it's hard to give advice really, because it just depends on the ground. Every job's different, but yeah, you need to leave yourself about 150 mil either side of your wall, depending on how wide your wall is, and then just go dig down till you've got some solid ground, some clay or some solid stuff. And yeah, Kieran Smith's just asking about what I think of like the new timber framed houses versus the traditional way to build a house. I think it's again just trying to speed things up again, isn't it? You know, with the timber frames and you firing the ties into the timber. I wouldn't necessarily say that traditional houses will be more thermal. I think they're testing these things all the time, so probably, you don't know, the timber framed houses might be more thermal with the ratings they put on there with the insulation and stuff, and the walling, the internal walling. I don't know. These building companies, they want to find a way how to speed up the way they can turn over the houses, and that's as simple as that. They want to turn them over faster so they can move on to the next project, and that's just the way it is. Hungry for more money. He's also asking about routes into the trade, like I just discussed about my route. Just came by chance really, but other than that, you know what I mean, just ask people if they want a labourer. There's plenty of sites you can go knocking around. Go and ask, ring up the sites, ring up the companies, the housing companies. They're always looking for labourers. Start off as a labourer, find out if anybody you know is in the industry. There's plenty of bricklayers, you know, see if you can get into it that way. There's always labourers needed, but that's it. You need to get your foot in the door with somebody, a gang of brickies or something like that, then go from there really. Frosty Fangs asked, hey Stu, I'm 14 thinking about becoming a bricklayer. Do you think I would make much money when I start? No, you wouldn't, Frosty Fangs. That is the answer. You wouldn't make any money whatsoever, because you're young and you're inexperienced, you don't know anything about the job, so you can't expect a lot of money, can you? So just my advice would be just to get stuck in, learn as much as you can, work harder than everybody else. That's what I would say. Work harder than everybody else and work on creating more value for yourself, you know, so you've got more to offer. So yeah, but in the beginning, like I said before, it's not going to pay well. Same as anything you start out in the beginning, it's not going to pay well at all. If it's something you're committed to do, then that's something that you'll go through no problem. Because, you know, if you want to do something, if you really want to do something right, it doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter, you know, what you'll get in the beginning. If all you're looking at is the end product, and you know you'll achieve that end product, then you're fully committed, and that's all that matters. There's no decision to be made, you'll just still go through with it. Thanks, Helicopter. Last question from Jacob Edwards, and he says, I want to do a bricklaying in college. Shall I do it until level 3 or become an apprentice? Now, Jacob, I'm not quite sure. It was a long time ago since I went to college. Now, I'm not quite sure how they do these things now. When I was doing my apprenticeship, I went to college 1 day a week from 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 at night, and then I was on site for the rest of those days. I'm not sure how it works now. Perhaps you can tell me more about it, but that's how I did my MVQ. and serve me time on site as well. So that's the best experience I could possibly get, really, you know, because I was in it every day, and then just on the one day off I was in college for the 12 hours. So I'm not sure it works these days, but yeah, in terms of MVQ, I mean, it's up to you. I only did level 2 because I had my reasons. Like I say, I'll explain it in another video, and I just wanted to get out there and start earning some money. You can do your level 3, that would be fine, but that goes into more detailed brickwork, you know, your technical bonds and your feature brickwork. But we touched on that before. It's been kind of covered with prefabs, all that stuff. It's kind of pre-moulded, and all you have to do is point it up. So I mean, it's up to you, entirely up to you. I would say that getting your certificates is important, really. If you want to go to Australia or somewhere like that and travel, then you can take them with you. But I will say that all the time I've been doing bricklaying, I've never ever once been asked for my certificates by the sites I've worked on, ever, not once. Now there's something for you, innit? So yeah, that's it. I answered your question as best I can in the freezing cold. If I missed any, I'll answer them next time, and apologies for that. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like rating, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.